To make this winter scene, you'll start out with a blue piece of construction paper, and the blue will actually be the sky. You'll also have some white paint, tempera, and you'll start by making little dabs of paint below what they'd call the horizon line, the ground line where the snow is going to be. And you just keep dipping in your brush and getting more paint and just filling in where you want the snow to be. You can make some hills and things like that. You're going to leave the top half of the paper for the sky, and we'll put some snow coming down a little bit later. So this is real easy to do. And it'll work out best if you just make little choppy strokes like this, because then the texture will all be kind of the same. Here you have a choice. You can either go all the way to the bottom of the paper, or you can leave a space where you can put a frozen pond. And I decided that I'm going to leave a space and make a frozen pond. That way you'll know how to do it if you decide you want to do it. So I'm painting everywhere but where I want the pond to be. And I'm using all of these little dab strokes to get the same texture all in the snow. Okay, now the next thing I do is I take some white paint, and now I'm making strokes that are long. And I'm also taking some blue paint and I'm putting it in the white paint and I'm letting it mix. And I'm doing all this while the paint's still wet. The paint won't mix if it's not wet. So I'm using long strokes this time to get more of the texture of what the ice would look like. And I'm painting in that space with the long strokes. And you can see how different it looks from the texture in the snow. When you paint, you can get different textures and show different things by the kind of strokes that you use. So here I am with wet white paint. And I'm trying to keep the strokes going in the same direction. And then I'm going to take some blue and I'm going to just start painting it right on top of the white and just letting it mix in. And you can see how the more blue there is in relation to the white, the darker it is. And the more white there is, the lighter the blue is. So you can learn something about how you can make a color light or dark by the way you mix the paint. Since the snow is still wet, I'll take just a little bit of blue on my brush and I'll dab it in with the white dabs of the snow, and it'll make shadows. If you look at like snow, if you go outside and you look at a snow-covered field or your yard and you really look at it, you'll notice that the snow doesn't always just appear white because there's shadows on it. And so there'll be places where if you really look at it, you'll see that it's light gray or blue. And so if I do this, it makes it look a little bit more realistic. And then I can just take my brush and I can just dab in some little white dots to make snow coming down. So here's the beginning of my winter scene. I've got more to do, but the painting part's done. You can finish off this a lot of different ways, but the way I'm going to do it is by putting some penguins in it. And I have 2 other video lessons about how to draw a penguin, one from the front view and one from the side view. And you could use that, and then you could color them and cut them out. And then it's just a matter of deciding how you want to arrange them on your paper and then gluing them down. Remember, just some dots of glue placed along the edges will be all that you need. You could also add some cartoon deer. I've got some video lessons of how to draw a cartoon deer, or you could add children playing in the snow, or even Santa Claus if you wanted to go the Christmas route. Pretty much anything you decide you want to do. have a good time with this.